So here, first we discuss about what things we are discussing in this chapter actually in electrochemistry. Okay, as its name suggests, electro mean electrons, chemistry mean chemistry of electron or transfer of electron. So all electrochemistry is based on electron transfer, or we can say redox reactions. And you know, whenever redox reaction is there, what is happening? There will be transfer of electron, there may be lose or gain of electron, or you can say there may be reduction or oxidation of any species. So all electrochemistry, this chapter is based on redox reaction. Now which part we are discussing in electrochemistry, we are just listing these parts. First, number one thing we are discussing here, that is electrochemical process. We are saying this as electrochemical process. Number two thing we are discuss here, that is electrolysis. Electrolysis process. Two major things we are discussing in this chapter, and one more thing we are discussing apart from these, that is part number 3, and which is known as electrolytic conductance. Electrolytic conductance. So all these three things we are discussing in this chapter and their application as well. Okay, so this is the chapter's point we are discussing. Now we are first define the major difference, or we can say basic difference between these two processes, electrochemical process and electrolysis process, and thereafter we will discuss in detail about of both the process. So now we are taking first basic difference between electrolysis and electrochemical process. So what is the difference? We are writing here and we will discuss it. So first process we are taking is electrochemical process, and second we are taking electrolysis process, and we are to discuss here what is the difference is, what is the definition, all basic things which are different for these two processes. Okay, so first point we are taking for this process, actually in electrochemical process what is happening, there will be chemical change, or we can say chemical reaction, and that will cause production of electricity, or we can say flow of electric current. So how can we define it? We can define it as chemical changes cause electric current flow. Electric current flow. So this is the definition of electrochemical process, we can say is, and in which one more thing we can say here, that chemical energy is converted into electrical energy also, or we can say chemical change. Chemical change is known as chemical reaction. Chemical reaction causes electric current flow, and here the point number one will be, here electric current we are using for chemical change. Electric current cause chemical change. So what we can say here, these both processes are opposite to each other, or we can say reverse of each other. So chemical changes are carried out with the help of electric current. So this is the major difference and definition here. And the second point we can say for electrochemical process as, this can be rewrite as chemical energy is converted into electrical energy here. Chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. But for electrolysis process here, this thing is opposite, and we can say electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Okay, so this is the major difference between two processes, or we can see these as definition also. For electrochemical process, the definition is chemical changes or chemical reactions are carried out which will cause flow of electric current. Here we are using electric current to make a chemical change or chemical reaction. Or we can say, in other words, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy in electrochemical process, and in electrolysis process, or we can say electrolytic process, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So these are two difference. Now we are taking the next difference, point number 3, and we are taking point number 3 for electrochemical process. Actually, electrochemical process is proceed by itself, and it is known as spontaneous process. If you know the definition of spontaneous process, it is spontaneous process. Spontaneous process. And for this electrolysis, or we can say electrolytic process, it is non-spontaneous process. Non-spontaneous process. Okay. So, do you know about spontaneous and non-spontaneous? What are the differences? What are the definitions for these processes? Khushi, can you say?
So, spontaneous processes are those without the external agency, they occur naturally.
Okay.
And non spontaneous are those which require the help of external agency or external forces.
Okay, great. Now, one more thing. I am giving an example to you, and you have to decide whether it is spontaneous or non-spontaneous process. Okay. So, burning of wood, which kind of process?
That will be a spontaneous process.
Spontaneous. Okay. And now we are taking flow of water from lower level to higher level.
That will be non spontaneous.
Non-spontaneous. Great. So you can remember here one more thing also. Spontaneous process can be started by itself, or we need to start once, then these are proceed by itself. But non-spontaneous process required continuous external support to proceed. Got it? For example,
Yes,
if you are having any salt solution, and we flow the electric current into that. Okay, as we flow the electric current for 5 seconds, then process will proceed for 5 seconds only. Thereafter process will not proceed as we close the electric current flow. Okay, but for spontaneous process, it is a proceed by itself, and it is proceed continuously without any external support. And for non-spontaneous process, we need external support, and that is continuously needed. Do remember. Okay, like for flow of water from lower height to higher level, we need motor to flow, and as we have the motor started, the flow will be there. As we stop the motor, and flow will be stopped. So they need external support continuously. So this is the criteria to define this process. Okay, got it. So now electrochemical process is spontaneous, do remember, and electrolytic process or electrolysis is non-spontaneous process. Now, if you know, in thermodynamics we are using a parameter for a spontaneous process, that is known as Gibbs free energy change. Okay, so for spontaneous process, delta G system, here we are saying for electrolytic cell and electrochemical cell, so we can say delta G cell, that will be negative here. And for electrolytic cell, delta G for process will be positive, and this is the criteria for spontaneity. If you know, actually in thermodynamics we are using this criteria. For any process, if delta G is negative, then that process will be spontaneous. Okay, now point number 5. If delta G for process is less than 0, then we can say delta S, that is entropy change, and we can say delta S total or delta S universe, entropy change for the universe, it should be greater than 0 for spontaneous process, and it should be less than 0 for non-spontaneous process. So you can say about spontaneity, we can say about entropy change for universe, that should be here negative. In this process it is positive, so do remember this thing also. Now we are taking the next point in electrochemical process. As electrochemical process is spontaneous, for example we can take, if we are having zinc and copper sulfate solution, we are mixing both, then there will be chemical reaction, and that is not needed any external support. So what we can say, that is spontaneous. Okay, so in
Yes, sir.
case of spontaneous process, if we talk about the work done, then what will be work done by the system or work done on the system, this will be the category for spontaneous.
So work done by the system.
Great. So here we are saying work done by the system. Okay, work done by system, do remember. And here system will be cell, so what we can say, work done by cell also, or we can say work done by electrochemical cell. And whenever work done by the system or by the cell, then what sign we are using for work? If you know sign convention for work, it is negative. Okay, whenever work done by the system is there, then we are taking the work as negative value. Okay, do remember it. If you don't know, if you know, that's okay. Then point 6, here we need flow of electric current, and we are proceeding the process with the help of electricity. So what we can say, work done on the cell here. So here we can say this point as work done on the cell or on the system. Got it? And we
Yes,
can
sir.
say this as work done by the surrounding also. Got it? Who is doing the work done on the cell? Surrounding. And now we can take the sign for work done here, that is positive. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So keep in mind these all differences between these two processes. As we discuss these processes in detail, we are discussing again these points, but you remember this. Now we are taking next point number 7. Actually we need any device for proceeding of both the processes. So to proceed electrochemical process, we need a device that is known as electrochemical cell. So in short we can say electrochemical process is proceeded in electrochemical cell device. Got it? So here
Yes, sir.
the device in which this process is taking place is known as electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell is needed here, and in this process we need a device that is known as electrolytic cell. Do remember electrolytic cell. And one more thing, electrochemical cell is also known as galvanic cell. If you hear this name, galvanic cell.
Yes, sir.
Electrochemical cell is also known as galvanic cell because Galvani and Volta discovered this cell first time, and for honor of this scientist we are using the name as galvanic cell, as well as we can use voltaic cell also for electrochemical cell. So it is known as a galvanic cell or voltaic cell, and this is known as only by one name, that is electrolytic cell. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
we are taking next difference, number 8. If we talk about example of this kind of cell, Okay, electrochemical cell example. Then we can take, if you know, lead storage battery, zinc copper cell. Okay, these are the example for electrochemical cell. And hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, then lead storage battery, as we can say in short LSB, as we can say NiCd nickel cadmium cell, Leclanche or dry cell. So these all are the examples of electrochemical cell. Actually, these are the cells or batteries we can say which are source of EMF, or these are source of energy. These can provide energy we are using in our daily life. Okay. So if you know about their application, then you can remember easily like what are the uses for that. Now we are taking next point 8 for electrolytic process, and here we are writing example of this type of cell. So here example number 1, we can take NaCl aqueous solution in which Pt electrodes are dipped with Pt electrodes dipped in the solution. Okay, and here we are using external energy source for flow of electric current, that is known as external battery or external cell for this cell. And similarly we can take any salt solution or molten salt, and in which we are dipping two metal rods which are known as electrodes, and this combination is known as electrolytic cell. Okay, got it? So we can make many type of cells in which we are to change electrolyte and electrodes only. So these are the basic difference between these two type of process, and now we are taking a similarity between both of the process. And to remember, the similarity is what? Both process are based on redox reaction. Both processes are based on redox reactions. As we have written initially, the chemistry is fully based on redox reactions. So these are the processes based on redox reactions only. And whenever we are having redox reaction, there will be change in oxidation number or oxidation state, and there will be oxidation for a particular species as well as reduction is also for other species, and both processes are simultaneously, that we are saying that processes as redox. Red means reduction, ox means oxidation. That's why we are saying collectively as redox reactions. You got it?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, if you have any doubt regarding this or these differences or definition, you can ask now. Like we have discussed about definitions and differences between these two processes at basic level, as we will discuss these processes in detail also, where we are discussing all these points in detail also.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, great. So now we are taking the next process in detail, and that is electrochemical process. First we are taking this electrochemical process. Can you see the name of device in which this process is taking place?
Electrochemical cell or galvanic cell?
Great. And that is also known as voltaic cell, you can remember. Okay, so first of all, first we are writing definition here for this process, then we discuss about what is electrochemical cell, what is the structure for that, what is the working of that, what is the part of that cell, how we represent that cell, and then we are taking the examples. So this is the things we are discussing here. So first of all, we are writing the definition for this process. As we have discussed here, Can you say the definition? What is this process?
The process in which the chemical energy gets converted into electrical energy and redox reaction takes place.
Great. So this is the definition. In other words, we can say a process in which chemical changes cause production of electric current. Got it? So we
Yes,
can
sir.
write a process in which chemical change cause chemical change, you can write as chemical reaction also. Both are the same thing. And here the chemical reaction is which type? Redox reaction. So you can write here redox reaction as well. A process in which chemical changes or chemical reactions cause production of electric current. Electric current is known as electrochemical process. Electrochemical process. So this is the definition. If you need to write, you can write it. And in other words, we can say a process in which chemical energy gets converted into electrical energy is known as electrochemical process. And what are the here basic points about electrochemical process? As it is a spontaneous process, for this process delta G is negative. For this process delta S entropy change is positive. And for this process, what we can say, what is work done? Work done is negative or work done by the cell. Okay, so all these points are for electrochemical process, and this process is taking place in a device that is known as electrochemical cell or galvanic cell or voltaic cell. So now we are discussing about electrochemical cell, and for electrochemical cell we are to discuss what are the parts, various parts, their functions, and as we draw the structure of cell, we will find many things about electrochemical cells functionality, also how it is working, how we are getting energy, all things we are getting. So now I am drawing the structure of electrochemical cell. So our heading is electrochemical cell, and here we draw the structure first. Okay, it's a diagram. Actually, in electrochemical cell there are two parts. This is having two parts, and which are known as half cells, two half cells, or we can say there are two half cells. As these two half cells are combined, they are forming electrochemical cell, and these two half cells are known as right hand side half cell. Do remember these things, right hand side half cell and left hand side half cell. Okay, and now do remember right hand side half cell is also known as anode half cell. To remember this thing, anode half cell, as well as this is known as cathode half cell. Sorry, right hand side, this one is known as cathode half cell, do remember, and this one is known as anode half cell, and this is fixed. Actually it was fixed by IUPAC. So anode half cell, do remember. Okay, left hand side half cell is known as anode half cell, and this one is known as cathode half cell, right hand side half cell. And similarly, these are also having names like right hand side half cell is also known as cathode half cell, as well as it is also known as reduction half cell. As we know, at cathode reduction is taking place, that's why we are saying is at reduction half cell also. And similarly, what will be name of for this left hand side half cell?
Oxidation half cell.
Oxidation half cell, we can say this as oxidation half cell. So these are the name of two parts of electrochemical cell. As the two parts are combined, then we are getting electrochemical cell. and these two parts are connected by a inverted U-tube shape tube that is known as salt bridge, as we will draw this in the diagram. So now I'm drawing the diagram for this cell. So now we are to draw two half cells first, and to draw this half cell, first we draw left hand side half cell in left hand side here, and then we draw right hand side half cell here. If you want, you can note the points also, as well as you can draw the diagram also. Okay, got it. So now this is present in left hand side, so we are saying this as left hand side half cell. Got it. And what is the another name for this, or we can say
Oxidation half cell.
oxidation half cell or anode?
Anode half cell.
And similarly this can be write as right hand side half cell, or we can say cathode half cell. Okay, so to remember all these things. Now these half cells actually having metal rods dipped in the half cells, as this half cell is having this kind of metal rod here. Okay, and this is also having, and that is different metal rod, you can say. If you are having this point and we are drawing by this color, this is metal rod dipped in this half cell. Okay, got it. Now these half cells are connected by a inverted U-shaped tube, and that tube is known as salt bridge. We are drawing in this way, like these are connected by this tube. This is the inverted U-shaped tube, and name of this tube here is salt bridge. Okay, now we are labeling this metal rod is known as anode. Okay, both metal rods are collectively known as electrodes. This electrode, or we can say electrode present in left hand side half cell, is known as anode, and similarly electrode present in cathode half cell is known as cathode. This is known as cathode. Okay, now we are filling a solution in the both half cells, as here we are fill a solution of any salt solution for which this metal rod we are using. Like if you are using this zinc metal rod, then we are filling here the solution that is salt of zinc. Okay, so here we are mentioning, let us assume here zinc anode we are using for this, so this will be zinc sulfate aqueous solution. As you know, zinc sulfate is strong electrolyte, so this will present in form Zn plus 2n sulfate ion. Got it? As it is aqueous solution, so it is fully ionized. And now we are taking here also one solution, that will be solution of salt of metal for which this metal rod is formed. And here if you are using copper metal rod, this is cathode is made up of copper, then we are using here copper sulfate aqueous solution. Okay, and if you know, this is also ionized into two types of ions, cupric ion and sulfate ion in aqueous solution. And make sure these metal rods should be dipped in the solution, as well as the tube's mouth should also be dipped in the solution in both the half cells. As if you are positioning this tube and mouth of this tube is at this place, then it is not dipped in the solution, then this cell will not work, and it is incomplete circuit. So make sure this thing is there. Okay, now we are filling a paste type semi-solid, or we can say semi-liquid solution in the salt bridge also for completion of this. As it is inverted U-shaped tube, if we fill liquid in the tube, then liquid is goes out and it becomes empty. That's why we are using the paste in the salt bridge, and in the paste we are using the salt with paste. So here we are using like KCl electrolyte paste, and this paste is with agar. If you know, a plant product is there that is known as agar. This is semi-solid type substance. Here we are making a paste of KCl with this agar, and then we are filling this paste in the U-tube, inverted U-tube, that is known as salt bridge, and these mouths of this tube are closed by bowl. Okay, and the purpose for this, these are allowing these ions to flow constantly and slowly, so this is not becomes empty instantly, so cell can work for a long time. Okay, now what is happening, as we have discussed, this metal rod is formed by zinc, and we are using zinc sulfate solution here. So whenever any metal rod is dipped in the solution of its salt, then what is happening? There are two tendencies. Some metals are having tendency to lose the electron, and some metals are having tendency to accept the electron. And this is all depends on nature of metal actually, or you can say reactivity of metal. And here the concept is, if any more reactive metal is dipped in the solution of its salt, then there will be tendency of lose of electron by the metal. And if metal is comparatively less reactive, then it is having tendency to gain the electron from the solution. Okay, so now we are saying this metal is found by zinc and this is copper. If you know about electrochemical series, the zinc is having more reactivity as compared to copper, or you can say copper is less reactive than zinc. So here zinc is oxidized and releasing the electron. So this is zinc rod, and this zinc rod, when release the electron, then which kind of ion we are getting here? Zn2 plus.
Yes, sir.
You can say this. So in the solution, what kind of ions we are getting? Zn2 plus. As before this reaction, we are having zinc sulfate aqueous solution. So number of zinc ion and number of sulfate ions are equal, and this solution is electrically neutral, if you know. And now
Yes,
what
sir.
is happening, if one atom of zinc suppose oxidized and produced Zn2 plus, this Zn2 plus is coming to the solution and released electron is deposited on the metal rod, that is zinc rod, we can say anode. Okay, so now this electron is deposited on this metal rod anode, or we can say zinc rod. So can you say what is the charge on electron?
Negative.
So this metal rod or anode becomes negatively charged. Got it? And the
Yes, sir.
solution become positively charged. Got it? As this
Yes,
is
sir.
negatively charged, so we can say completely it is as low potential, and solution become at high potential. So what we can say, there will be potential difference between metal rod and solution, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
There will be potential difference. This metal rod is at low potential and solution at high potential, though there will be potential difference between metal rod surface and solution, and this potential difference is known as electrode potential. What's the name? Electrode potential. Actually we will discuss this thing later, but here we are just using this name. This potential difference is known as electrode potential, and do remember, this potential difference is arised due to oxidation, so its specific name will be oxidation potential. As electrode potential is of two types, one is known as oxidation potential, another is reduction potential, and here this is arised due to oxidation, so it is known as oxidation potential. So potential difference between metal rod and solution due to oxidation is known as oxidation potential. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, some more points we are to mention here. The solution of salt we are filled in the anode half shell. Here we can say zinc sulfate aqueous solution. This is known as electrolyte in anode half shell. What is the name we are using here? Electrolyte in anode half shell. Got it? So if you are asked about what is the electrolyte in anode half shell for this cell, you are to say zinc sulfate aqueous solution is electrolyte solution here. Got it? Similarly, this uh, copper sulfate aqueous solution which is filled in the cathode half shell is known as electrolyte of cathode half shell. Electrolyte solution of cathode half shell. Do remember, this electrode is known as anode, which is dipped in the anode half shell. This electrode is known as cathode, which is dipped in the cathode half shell solution. So here many points you are to remember here. Electrodes, electrode can be anode or cathode. So if you are asked which metal is formed anode here, zinc. What is the charge on this anode? Negative. What is the electrolyte in anode half shell for this cell? Zinc sulfate aqueous solution. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember. Now, as we have discussed, zinc is more reactive than copper. So whenever we are forming a couple of two metals, then if one metal is comparatively more reactive than other, that will get oxidized, then other metal will always reduce. Do remember? So here copper is less reactive as compared to zinc. So copper gets reduced here. And how this is happening? In from this solution, what is happening? The sulfate ion actually is deposited on the copper 2 plus ion, not surface. This copper 2 plus ion is deposited on the surface of this copper metal rod. As we know, copper 2 plus is having which kind of charge?
Positive.
Positive. So if it is adsorbed on the surface, so which kind of charge this will get? Positive.
Positive.
And this becomes at high potential. And as we know, initially total charge in the solution will be zero. Now some copper cupric ions are deposited at the metal rod copper. So what is happening in the solution? Sulfate ions are becoming axis, that is having negative charge. So solution becomes at low potential. Got it? And now
Yes, sir.
the copper cupric ion going there at the surface of cathode, actually these are getting electron, and with electron these are getting, actually this electron which is produced at anode, when we complete the circuit, that is coming from external circuit and comes at this point, and here the cupric ion will absorb, or we can say accept the electron to convert into copper. So when cupric ion gets electron and converted into copper, the process is known as reduction, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And this potential difference, which is due to reduction, as we can say this electron is coming here, this is attracting cupric ion, so cupric ion is going there and reduced. So this is known as reduction potential. So electrode potential is a common name which can be of two types, oxidation and reduction potential. So at this place, this is due to oxidation, so oxidation potential. At cathode, it is due to reduction, so it is reduction potential. Okay. Now, if we compare these two electrodes, as we are joining these two metal rods or electrodes with the help of external circuit, if you are using this external circuit suppose, then we can use any electrical device in between this external circuit, as we can use the bulb here. So what is happening when this process is happening, oxidation reduction, this will produce electron. These electrons are going through this circuit to the cathode. So we can say flow of electron is known as electric current, isn't it? So when the electric current
Yes,
is
sir.
passed through this bulb, then what happen? The bulb will
The bulb
give
will glow.
light, bulb glow. So when bulb is glow means what? The cell is working properly, cell is giving energy. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And how can we determine the flow of electric current, direction of flow of electron, flow direction in external circuit? We can easily explain with the help of this diagram. This is known as external circuit, to remember. So in external circuit, electrons are in axis at anode, that's why it is negatively charged, and this is electron deficient positively charged terminal, that is cathode, and these electrons are going through external circuit to the cathode. So flow of electron is in which direction, from anode to cathode or cathode to anode in external circuit?
Anode to cathode.
Anode to cathode. And if you know, the electric current flow direction is opposite to flow of negatively charged ion and similar to flow of positively charged ion. As electron is negatively charged ion, so flow of electric current in external circuit is from cathode to anode. Got it?
Yes,
You
sir.
can say this. Now we are taking one more thing here. As this process is happening and this zinc is continuously oxidized to produce Zn2 plus an electron, and this process is continuous. So what is happening after some time? The positive charge in the solution become in axis, as electron are flowing from external circuit and going there, but positive charge is remain in the solution. So after some time this process may be stopped. Reason is what? If you know, if any solution is having any charge, that is very unstable. Okay, so for continuous process we need to neutralize this excess charge in both half cells. Here which charge is in axis? Positive. Here cupric ion get reduced, then which ions will become in axis? That will be sulfate. So which charge on the solution in axis? That is negative charge. So after some time it is very high negative charge, and that's why this process may affect and may stop. So to prevent this stopping of process, what we are doing, we have to neutralize both the half cells axis charge with the help of this salt bridge. As we can say, this salt bridge is connecting internally both the half cells, as well as this will neutralize both the half cells. And how it is neutralized? If you are asked about which charge is axis in anode half cell here, positive charge or negative?
So can you repeat the question?
The question is which charge is in axis in anode half cell, positive charge in axis or negative charge, as the cell is working?
Positive.
Positive charge. So it need any negative charge to neutralize, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And in copper sulfate aqueous solution, what is happening? Cupric ion are going to the surface of cathode and gets reduced by accepting this electron. So which ion in axis here after some time? Sulfate ion.
Negative.
Negative charge. So this solution need positively charged ion to neutralize this solution.
Yes,
And
sir.
these positive and negative charge are provided by the salt bridge. As we know, we are filling the salt bridge with an electrolytes paste, like here KCl paste with agar agar. So here role of KCl is what? This is producing two types of ion, the Cl minus and K plus. Cl minus is going here in this side. As you know, in anode half cell axis is zinc ion or positive charge, so negative charge should come here to neutralize these. And similarly K plus ion is going into this solution to neutralize its charge. And as the zinc ion are produced in the solution, Cl minus ions are also coming to the solution. So charge of the solution remains 0 here, and cell can work properly. And this is happening in this half cell also. Here the sulfate ion are becoming axis as the cell working. So K plus ions are coming to the solution and neutralize the axis sulfate ions, and that's why the charge of solution remains 0, or we can say solution remain neutral in both half cell. And in this condition cell can work easily properly, efficiently. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now can you say what is the role of salt breeze here?
Sir, it maintains the, you can say it maintains the osmotic concentrations.
Okay, great.
It also helps to neutralize excess charge and it helps in the flow of the electric current constantly.
Great. Or in other words, what we can say, the salt breeze is completed the circuit internally. If we are
Yes,
removing
sir.
this, what is happening? There will be no circuit, no flow of current, no working of electrochemical cell. So to work electrochemical cell, it is necessary. Got it? Now one more thing, it maintains electrical neutrality in both the half cells. Electrical neutrality means charge of solution remains zero, and this is necessary for working of cell, as if we are not doing it, then what is happening, after some time the zinc ions are in axis in this solution, so in that case no more zinc ions are produced, no electrons are released, no current flow is there, cell cannot work. Got it? So major two functions of salt bridge
Yes,
are
sir.
to complete a circuit internally and to maintain electrical neutrality in both the half cells. You got it? Now we are
Yes, sir.
taking one more point. Let us suppose if we connect both the half cells directly without using the salt bridge, then what happen? Even we can complete the circuit here if we connect these both half cells directly. You got it? If we connect in this way,
Yes, sir.
then we can complete the circuit internally, as well as the charge neutralization can be there or electrical neutrality can be there also, isn't it? Because in this solution what is happening, positive charge in axis here, which negative charge are in axis, when we connect both, these can be neutralized to each other, isn't it? So why we are using the salt bridge at place of connect these half cells directly? Can you say the reason?
Sir, but then after some time the current would flow only.
Okay, it's correct. Cell cannot work. But what the reason why current will not flow or cell cannot work?
Sir, because there will not be any potential difference between it.
Exactly, because when we connect these internally directly without salt bridge, then what happens? These solutions are mixed and there will be, and another potential difference is also that resist the potential difference in external circuit, or we can say potential difference becomes zero, and whenever potential difference becomes zero for the cell, cell is not having power to do work, cell is not having power to give energy, or cell cannot work. And now one more point here we are to discuss, if we mix, then what is happening? Suppose this is the point here, which solution is coming? ZnSO4 aqueous solution, and here copper sulfate. Okay, this is the point of mixing, or we can say junction point. And if you know what is the direction of potential difference in external circuit, here this is low potential, this is high potential. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Anode half cell is at low potential and cathode half cell is at high potential. And now here what is happening, zinc ions are in axis and here sulfate ions are in axis. So for this side or left hand side, it becomes at high potential and it becomes at low potential, isn't it?
Yes,
And
sir.
this potential difference is just opposite to the potential difference in external circuit, you can say, isn't it? So
Yes,
this
sir.
potential difference will resist this potential difference in external circuit and it becomes zero, and this potential difference is having a specific name that is known as liquid junction potential. Do remember this point? This is known as liquid junction potential. Got it? This is the junction point of liquid
Yes,
mixing,
sir.
and there will be potential difference due to axis of zinc ion here, sulfate ions here, and that is having opposite direction to the external potential difference, and that resist the external potential difference, and it cause the, it becomes zero, so cell cannot work, and this is known as liquid junction potential. So one more function of salt bridge we can say, if we are using the salt bridge, then we can minimize the liquid-liquid junction potential also, isn't it? Because both the half cells electrolyte cannot mix directly, so there will be no arise of liquid-liquid junction potential. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so these are the functions of salt bridge. So now we can recall what the function to complete the circuit internally for salt bridge function. One more, to maintain electrical neutrality of both the half cells, as well as to minimize or reduce liquid-liquid junction potential, which can be arise due to mixing of the solution directly, or we can say electrolytes directly. Okay, so now you can ask, what is the role of agar-agar here? Actually, we are using electrolyte in this salt bridge. Okay, and we are using this electrolyte in paste form, not in aqueous solution form, and we are making the paste with agar-agar, this substance. So actually it is semi-solid type substance, and it is generally inactive, which will not react or interfere in the cell reaction. And one more thing here you have to remember, that is we are here selecting electrolyte which must be inert electrolyte. And some more points are also there for this electrolyte which is used in salt bridge. Okay, the salt we are using here in the salt bridge should have some parameters. So what are the parameters? Do remember, these two ions K plus and Cl minus should not interact in the cell reaction. You got it? Like if you are saying the Cl minus is going to this anode half cell, if it will react with zinc ion and it will form any other compound, or there will be another redox reaction in the solution, then that may cause non-functioning of cell. So the salt used in the salt bridge should be inert. Inert means the cations or anions of this salt should not interfere in the cell reaction. You got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And one more parameter for these two ions, K plus and Cl minus, if we are using any salt, there are two types of ion, cations and anions. These two cations and anions should have equal mobility. If you know, speed or mobility should be equal or approx equal for these two cations and anions. If it is not, then what is happening? This will affect the efficiency of cell. Okay. So these are the points we will discuss it later in detail also. Here we are mentioning. So now if you are having any doubt, any question related to this, you can ask.
No, sir, I got it.
Okay. So now we are to write these points, and we have to write the function of salt bridge and criteria for selection of salt in salt bridge, all that things. If you want to note it down, you can note. But
Sir, I've already written when you were
okay,
teaching.
great. So you have to draw this diagram also, because this diagram will give the all the answers to your questions actually in this section.
Yes, sir.
Yes, now we are discussing some questions here, like this is known as external circuit and this is known as internal circuit. You got it? This
Yes,
is
sir.
anode, this is cathode, and collectively common name for both is electrode. You know it?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
And now the question is, which kind of charge is present at anode in electrochemical cell?
It will be negative.
Negative. And which type of charge on cathode here?
Positive.
So can you say in external circuit, what is the direction of electric field? It is from cathode to anode or anode to cathode?
It will be from cathode to anode.
Great. As we know, it is from high potential to low potential, and here the cathode is at high potential and anode is at low potential, so it is from cathode to anode. It's right. And what is the direction of flow of electric current in external circuit?
That will also be from cathode to anode.
Great. What is the direction of flow of electron in external circuit?
Anode to cathode.
Okay. And what is the reason for electric current flow in external circuit?
So because the current will flow from higher potential to lower
No, what are
potential.
the carriers actually? Actually, current flow we can say as the flow of charge, isn't it? Flow of charge is known as current flow. So, which kind of charges are flowing here which cause flow of electric current? I am asking this.
Positive charge.
In external circuit, what is the carrier for current flow actually? I am asking that.
Acha, that is electrons.
Yes. So, in external circuit, the flow of electric current is due to flow of electrons. You got it? Now,
Yes, sir.
the question is, can you say the direction of flow of electric current in internal circuit? Direction of flow of electric current in internal circuit. There will be electric current flow in internal circuit or not? You can say this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if it is, then what is the direction of flow of electric current in internal circuit internally in the cell?
I think it should be from anode to cathode.
Okay, it is from anode to cathode. Can you justify?
So because the solution that is present, that is at a higher potential in that anode half cell.
Okay, great. But here, if I ask about what are the carrier due to which current is flowing in internal circuit?
That will be the ions.
Which ions we are using, the salt in salt bridge or ions of electrolyte we are used in the half cells?
Sir, the ions of electrolyte.
Ions of electrolyte we are using in the half cell. So which ion is going from anode to cathode from electrolyte filled in the anode half cell?
No, the ions of electrolyte won't go. They will interact with that salt bridge ions.
Actually, I mean which ion is moving, that is the reason for current flow actually, if you know. If we talk about the ions present in the half cells like zinc ion and sulfate ion, these are not moving from anywhere, isn't it? These are remain in the solution or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So in internal circuit, which ions are moving? The ions produced by the salt we are using in the salt bridge. Even we can say this as electrolyte, but this is electrolyte filled in the salt bridge actually. You got it? Here we can say
Yes,
KCl.
sir.
KCl ions like K plus and Cl minus are causing flow of electric current in the internal circuit. You got it?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great. So now if we want to determine the direction of flow of current here, then we can choose the direction of flow of positive charge that will be similar to flow of electric current, or we can choose the flow of direction of negative charge. In that case, the flow of electric current will be opposite to the flow of negative charge ion. So in KCl salt we are using in salt bridge, the Cl minus ion is moving from cathode to anode or anode to cathode?
They will move from cathode to
Cathode
anode.
to anode. So if we determine the flow of current due to Cl minus ion moment, so what is the direction of electric current?
It will be from anode to
Anode to
cathode.
cathode. Now we are taking the K plus. The flow of K plus is from anode to cathode here in this direction. So due to which, can you see the flow of current?
That will be from anode to cathode.
Okay, so what is the resultant direction here? Both are supporting or opposing in case of electric current?
Both are supporting,
Supporting.
sir.
So due to Cl minus electric current flow in this direction, due to K plus it is also in this direction. So what the net direction here from anode to cathode? You got it?
Yes,
And
sir.
in internal circuit, electric current is flowing due to moment of ions. You got it? It is not due to moment of electron, to remember. Here electrons are not moving, ions are moving. You got it? So carrier for
Yes,
electric
sir.
current in internal circuit is ions. And which ions? We are using the salt in salt bridge which produce the ions. These are the cause for electric current in internal circuit. And if we talk about electric current in solution, then in solution these ions can also participate. If this zinc plus is coming from this place to this place or this to this, then this can the cause for electrical conductivity. But in internal circuit, The ions participating in electric current flow are produced by salt, which we are using in salt breeze. Here this is KCl. Okay. Now
Yes, sir.
suppose in internal circuit total electric current flow is 2 amperes. So can you say it is due to K plus, due to Cl minus, or due to both ions? If current flow in internal circuit is 2 ampere, we letting this value. Okay. So now can you say which is the reason for this 2 ampere? It is even we mentioned that it is total current. Okay. So it is due to K plus ions or Cl minus or summation of current due to both the ions.
I think it will be due to Cl minus.
Okay, if it is due to Cl minus, then there will be some current also due to K plus. So how can we say it is total current? Then we cannot say it's total, isn't it? We are named here
Yes, sir.
at it is total electric current. So total electric current here contributed by two types of ions, Cl minus and K plus, isn't it? Both are supporting or not? This is having current in this
Yes, sir.
direction, this is also in this direction. So total current in this direction from anode to cathode is 2 ampere. Then there are two contributor here, Cl minus and K plus. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now what we are defining actually, if current due to Cl minus, we are saying I minus, it is I anion, we can mention it as I current due to anion. If it is 0.9 ampere, suppose. So what is current due to K plus? As we have mentioned, it is total current, that is 2 ampere. So it should be 1.1 ampere or not? And
Yes,
now
sir.
the sum will be 2 ampere. Got it? So now can you
Yes, sir.
say both the ions are contributing the equal current flow or unequal here?
Unequal.
Unequal. And contribution of K plus is more and Cl minus is less here. We are letting this thing actually. And for electrolyte or salt we are using in salt breeze, the criteria is the current flow due to both type of ions should be equal. If it is equal, then cell can work efficiently. So here the efficiency of cell will affect. And here we are using a term to measure this thing, that is known as transport number. And this transport number is what? The fraction of current carried due to any one type of ion, like cation or anion. If we are writing the formula for transport number of cation, then we are writing here current flow due to cation or current contribution of cation upon total current. So this is the ratio actually. So it is having no any unit, total current or electric current we can see. So in formula we can write current due to cation, and total current will be current due to cation plus current due to anion, isn't it? Or we can rewrite this as IC, that is current due to cation or current contributed by cation, upon I, that is total current. You got it? And this
Yes,
is
sir.
known as transport number of cation. You got it? Now if we want to measure transport number in this case, so what transport number of cation we are getting? It is 1.1 upon 2, so 0.55, isn't it? And
Yes,
similarly
sir.
if we measure transport number of anion, so what is formula? Current due to anion upon total current, and current due to anion is 0.90 upon total is 2, so what we are getting this 0.45. You got it? Now you have to say
Yes, sir.
here the transport number of cation and anion is equal or unequal here.
This is
It is
unequal.
unequal. And the criteria for selection of electrolyte in salt breeze is what? The transport number of cation and anion should be equal for better working of a cell. So we are just letting here like Cl minus having this contribution, actually it is approximately equal. So if it is 1 ampere suppose, and it is also 1 ampere, so what we are getting transport number as 5.0 and 5.0, sorry 0.5, 0.5, both are equal.
Yes, sir.
And in this situation, we are having the cell that is efficiently working as compared to this cell which is not having equal transport number of cation and anion. For the salt, we are using in salt bridge. Now, can you say the electric currents depend on which factors? If we are talking about electric current, then what are the factors which are deciding how much current is flowing due to any type of ion? As we are saying, the flow of charge, it may be positive or negative, is known as electric current, isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
we can say electric current is directly proportional to charge or not. As we can say, in a given time,
Yes,
more
sir.
charge is flowing, then electric current will be more. And upon time, as it is rate, so as the charge is moving fast, electric current is more. If it is moving slowly, electric current is less. So electric current is depending on what? Charge and time. And actually time is related to velocity, we can say. Velocity. It is connected to time. As time less, if any ion is requiring less time for going from anywhere one place to another place, then we are saying more velocity and less velocity in this way. So electric current is directly proportional to charge, it is directly proportional to velocity, so it is inversely proportional to time. You got it? Now if we compare the electric
Yes, sir.
current flow for K plus and Cl minus, here the magnitude of charge is equal or unequal?
Equal.
And here we are having magnitude only, it is not depending on plus or minus sign, actually it is having different direction but value is same. And then their velocity and speed, we can say velocity or speed of any ion in presence of electric field is known as mobility, if you know. Actually mobility is just similar word to velocity or speed, if you know. Okay. And the velocity for any ion depends on what? It is also depend on charge upon size. If any ion is having very big size, then what is happening? It needs more potential to move fast. It needs more
Yes,
momentum
sir.
to move fast. So in that situation, what is happening? If we are having equal mobility, mobility is including size and charge both, all time, all the things. Then if we are having two ions which cation and anion of equal mobility, then we are getting equal contribution to the electric current and equal transport number. Okay. So for K plus and Cl minus, actually mobility is equal. That's why we are getting equal transport number. So it is best we can say salt to select in salt bridge. So this is the criteria for selection of salt in salt bridge. So these all are the points we are to keep in the mind for selection of this salt. Like if we are having any salt like K ice salt we are taking. So what is happening in aqueous medium? These both are having equal size, but I minus is very large here. So in that situation, what is happening? Mobility will be unequal. Mobility unequal, then electric current will be unequal, then transport number will be unequal. Then it is less efficient electrolyte we are using in salt bridge. You got it?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now if you want to note it down, you need time, you can say. Otherwise, we will discuss again.
So just a second.
Okay, you have to write the definition. If you need to ask, you can ask. I will repeat. As we will write these points also later after this section. We are define all these points and we are discuss all these points again.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, great. So now we are coming back to this uh, cell, and now here we are using KCl, K plus Cl minus actually having equal charge, equal size, so there will be equal mobility, equal transport number. Okay, so now we are taking this example for explaining this thing. Okay, now we have discussed the flow of electric current in external and internal circuit, their carriers and their direction, all the things. Now, what is the electrolyte we are having in left hand side half cell here?
ZnSO4.
ZnSO4 molten, ZnSO4 aqueous solution. You have to mention it.
Aqueous solution.
Okay, do remember we can use the liquid form of electrolyte that may be molten or aqueous solution. So here we are using aqueous solution of zinc sulfate. This is known as electrolyte in anode half cell here. So what is electrolyte in cathode half cell here?
Copper sulfate.
Copper sulfate aqueous solution.
Aqueous
Great.
solution.
Now, which species will form anode in this cell? Zn. Zinc is forming is anode here. And which metal form cathode here? Copper.
Copper.
Great. So these are the points you are asked in the exam. Okay. So if you know the diagram, you can see all these points. And now what is the charge on anode? What is the charge on cathode?
Anode is negative, cathode is positive.
And what is the reason for negatively charged of anode here?
Because of the deposition of the electrons which are released by the Zn metal.
Which, during oxidation process, okay, due to oxidation of anode.
Yes, sir.
So if we talk about at which place, or we can say in which half cell oxidation is taking place?
Anode.
And in which half cell reduction is taking place?
Cathode half cell.
Now you have to remember two things here. Actually, we are not defining the anode and cathode in this way like in anode oxidation is taking place. We are defining in this way like a half cell in which oxidation is taking place is known as anode. Do remember. For any type of cell, even it is electrochemical cell or electrolytic cell, the oxidation is taking place on which terminal? That terminal is known as anode. Okay, the definition of anode and cathode we are defining in this way. And similarly, the reduction is taking place at cathode, or the terminal at which reduction is taking place, we are saying that as cathode. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are writing these all points. Point number 1 for this cell, anode is made up of which metal, which species? Zinc. And it is aqueous, gas, or solid?
That is solid.
As we know, we cannot make like metal rod for a liquid or gas, isn't it? So whenever we are using any gaseous or aqueous species for anode or cathode, we are using a representative metal rod as a anode or cathode. This will be discussed in later. Okay, so here it is zinc solid. Then electrolyte in anode half cell. Can you say for this cell which electrolyte we are using?
Zinc sulfate aqueous solution.
Zinc sulfate aqueous solution. And do remember, this salt may be very soluble or sparingly soluble. So can you say about zinc sulfate, it is very soluble or very less soluble in the water?
Very soluble.
And after this point, we are getting some solutions also in which we may get the salts which are sparingly solution, and that is also forming the cell, and we will discuss that also. Now we are having point number 3, charge on anode. For charge, what kind of charge we are having?
Negative.
Charge. Okay, now we are writing here anode half cell reaction, or we can say anode reaction also here. Anode half cell reaction. Which type of reaction is taking place in anode?
Oxidation.
So we can mention here oxidation reaction. You got it? Now can you say that reaction? We have to write here.
So Zn in solid state gives rise to Zn plus 2 electrons.
Great. So we can write this reaction as Zn solid gives Zn2 plus aqueous. This will go to the solution by losing 2 electrons. These electrons are deposited at the zinc rod, that is anode, and that is cause for negative charge on anode. And this half reaction is known as oxidation, as oxidation number is increased or electrons are released. And this is also known as de-electronation process. You got it? And now
Yes, sir.
remember,
Yes, sir.
the half cell reaction or net cell reaction we can write in two ways actually. Okay, for redox reaction. And what are the two ways? This reaction is known as ionic form reactions, in which we are only taking the species which are taking place in the reaction actively. We are not mentioning the here spectral ion in this reaction when we are writing the ionic reaction. And when we write the molecular reactions, then we are using molecular species, and in that reaction we are mentioning the ions or species actually which are spectator in the reaction or not taking part in the reaction. Okay, so this is ionic form of reaction taking place at anode. Now we can write this reaction in molecular form also. And what is that reaction? You have to write it also, like Zn solid plus sulfate ion. Actually here no role of sulfate ion, it is spectator here, but in molecular reaction we can mention in this way. It will form zinc sulfate aqueous by losing 2 electron. Now you can see this reaction is also balanced electron wise, mass wise, atom wise, all things. This is molecular form reaction. Here sulfate will be aqueous, do remember. Okay, got it? So you can write both the reaction, both are equally valid. Generally we are writing ionic reaction because here we are need not to write any species which are not taking part actively or spectators. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so next we write point number 5.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the last 5 minutes, I have some doubt of chemical kinetics,
Okay.
which came in this exam.
Okay.
So there was one assertion and reasoning question. I had a doubt.
Okay, so we can discuss.
So if you can
So
clarify.
they need only 5 minutes or more.
So it needs 5 minutes only because I have a doubt. The answer is already
Okay,
given,
okay.
but I wrote that
Okay,
wrong.
okay. We will discuss. So we discuss these points and thereafter we will discuss that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
point number 5, here we have written about anode. Now we are talking about cathode. So which species is forming cathode for this cell? It is copper solid.
Copper. Copper.
Great. Then what is electrolyte in cathode of cell?
Copper sulfate aqueous solution.
Great. Copper sulfate aqueous solution. And here what we can use actually, you can remember any salt of this metal solution or molten state can be selected as electrolyte. Like we are using cathode copper here, so any salt of copper we can use as electrolyte here. As we are using here copper sulfate, we can use copper nitrate also, like that. But the condition is the spectral ion should not interfere in the redox reaction, so we cannot select that kind of anion with cupric ion which interfere in the cell reaction. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir.
we are taking the next point, that is charge on cathode. Can you say what kind of
It's
charge?
positive. It's positive.
It is positive. And why it is coming positive? Due to deposition of cupric ion on this copper rod or cathode, which are getting electron to reduce. Then number 8 point is cathode half cell reaction. Which type of reaction is this? It is
Reduction. Reduction.
And do remember, we are defining cathode in this way. The terminal or electrode at which reduction reaction is taking place is known as cathode. Okay, you may get the questions
Yes,
in
sir.
assertion
Yes,
region
sir.
like cathode is terminal at which reduction is taking place. Not reduction is taking place on any terminal, that terminal is known as cathode. This is the right thing. So here we have to write the reaction. Can you say the reaction?
Cu plus 2 in aqueous state plus 2 electrons gives rise to Cu in solid state.
And where from we are getting these 2 electrons?
From the zinc.
Yes, from at anode these electrons are produced, these are getting by cathode here, and we are getting copper solid, and this reaction is reduction or electronation, we can say this as. Okay, and similar to anode half cell reaction, we can write this reaction in two ways also, in ionic form and in molecular form. So if we write in molecular form, then we are getting copper sulfate aqueous solution. Can you say the reaction? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay, tell
sir.
me what I have to write here. Copper sulfate aqueous plus two electron.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
what we are getting?
This is a Cu. This is a Cu
Cu
plus
solid
2.
plus sulfate aqueous. Actually, how we are getting the ionic reaction from this reaction? You can say that in aqueous solution, this is a strong electrolyte, so it is ionized fully. Okay, got it? So we can rewrite this
Yes,
as
sir.
Cu2 plus aqueous plus copper cupric aqueous plus sulfate aqueous. We can rewrite this in this way. So what we can see here for this reaction, this sulfate aqueous in left hand side, at right hand side it is also present, so it is cancel out, at it is not participating actively, so it is spectral ion, we can leave from solution. So what we are getting net in the reaction, cupric ion 2 electron gives copper,
Yes,
so
sir.
it
Yes,
is
sir.
ionic reaction. So in molecular reactions, what we are writing the spectral ions also which are not taking part actively.